All the credits in the world won't make this problem go away, Nasana.
Who the hell gave you the right to play God? I may not be perfect, but look at you. What? I heard something. Damn it. Check the other entrances. You stay put. When I'm finished dealing with this nuisance, you and I are going to...
I was wondering when you'd show up. I came a long way to talk to you.
One moment. Prayers for the wicked must not be forsaken.
She certainly was wicked.
Not for her. For me. The measure of an individual can be difficult to discern by actions alone. Take you, for instance. All this destruction, chaos. I was curious to see how far you'd go to find me. Well, here I am.
I do want to talk to you, but how did you know I was here?
Gunfire and explosions. I prefer to work quietly. If I have to fight through guards, I've made a mistake. I rarely make mistakes. You disrupted my plan, but your distraction eventually proved valuable.
You used me so you could kill her.
I needed a diversion. You needed to speak with me. You certainly fulfilled your end of the bargain. What would you like to discuss?
Someone's been abducting entire human colonies. We're gonna stop them. We already know the culprits. A race called the Collectors.
I've heard of them. Attacking the Collectors would require passing through the Omega-4 relay. No ship has ever returned from doing so.
They tell me it's a suicide mission. I intend to prove them wrong.
A suicide mission. Yes. A suicide mission will do nicely. I'm dying. Low survival odds don't concern me. The abduction of your colonists does.
I hadn't heard that. Is there anything I can do?
Giving me this opportunity is enough. The universe is a dark place. I'm trying to make it brighter before I die. Many innocents died today. I wasn't fast enough and they suffered. I must atone for that. I will work for you, Shepard. No charge. Do you need something?
You mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all.
When you pray for the wicked, who exactly are you praying to?
That depends on the circumstance. To find my target, I speak with them on Kira, Lord of Hunters. When I act to defend another, Arashu, goddess of motherhood and protection. And when I have taken my target, I speak with Kalahira, goddess of oceans and the afterlife.
Oceans and afterlife don't seem to have much in common.
Consider, the ocean is full of life, yet it is not life as you and I know it. To survive there, we must release our hold on land, accept a new way to live. So it is with the death. The soul must accept its departure from the body. If it can't, it will be lost.
There's something else I'd like to talk about.
Ask.
When we met you, you said you were dying.
Yes. I thought you'd want to know more. You don't have to worry about the rest of the crew. My illness is not communicable, even to other Drell. It's called Kestrel syndrome.
What exactly is the problem?
My people are native to an arid world. Most of us now live on Kaje, the Hanar homeworld. It's very humid and rains every day. Our lungs can't deal with the moisture. Over time, the tissue loses its ability to absorb oxygen. It becomes harder to breathe. Eventually, we suffocate.
Can't they do something about that?
The Hanar have funded a genetic engineering program. They should be able to adapt us. The project has only been running for a few years. I don't believe my body will still draw breath by the time it bears fruit.
Are you gonna be alright till the end of the mission?
I should be fine for another 8 to 12 months. The more time I spend in human environments, the faster it progresses. I think it's safe to say that by the time my body is incapacitated, we'll be victorious. Or dead. Either way, I won't be a burden to you.
Is there anything we can do here? Normandy has a state-of-the-art medical bay.
No, thank you. It's being attended to. If the finest medical minds in the Hanar illuminated primacy can't solve the problem, I doubt your ship's medic could. Thank you for your concern. Trust me, this won't affect my performance.
Have a few minutes to talk?
Certainly.
If you don't mind my saying, you don't really seem like an assassin.
You've spent too much time fighting thugs who think custom-painted armor makes them professionals. The Hanar trained my body for this role since I was 6 years old.
The Hanar? Excessively polite, worshipped Protheans? They don't seem the type who train assassins.
Every species trains assassins. The Hanar are only unusual in that they need other species to do the killing for them. They have a strong grip and natural toxins, but have you ever seen one move quickly outside of water? Or fire a gun?
You've been killing since you were 6?
Of course not. I didn't make my first kill until I was 12. They were training me. I was not to be used and thrown away. I was an investment.
You were a child, not an investment.
I've given you the wrong idea. They valued me, yes, as a resource, but also as a person. They regretted their need for me.
Why did your parents agree to this?
The agreement was made under the Compact. It was an honor for our family.
The Compact?
We live on the Hanar homeworld because they rescued us, some of us, from extinction. We owe them our lives. That is the Compact.
What exactly are the terms of the Compact?
There are many things the Hanar can't do, even with mechanical aid. They ask Drell to assist them.
But you don't kill for the Hanar anymore. You're freelance. What changed?
I was asleep for a long time, yes. I paid no attention to what my body was asked to do, but then... Laser dot trembles on the skull. One finger twitch. He dies. Then, the smell of spice on the spring wind. Sunset-colored eyes defiant in the scope. The laser dances away. My apologies. Drell slip into memory so easily.
Was that one of your assassinations?
Yes. Perhaps we can discuss it later. I've wasted too much of your time.
Have a few minutes to talk?
If you wish.
The last time we talked, you started speaking about a past event as if you were watching it.
Drell have perfect memories. We can relive any moment in our lives with perfect clarity. It's difficult to control at times. Some of us disappear into, let's call it solipsism.
You can remember everything that happened in your life?
Nearly. I expect if we remembered the birth trauma, we'd never recover from it.
What do you mean, solipsism?
When a memory feels as real as life, it's as valid as life. Thinking about a moment brings back the smell of cut grass, the warmth of another's hand on yours, the taste of another's tongue in your mouth. Wouldn't you rather lose yourself in such a memory than spend the night alone, staring at walls of metal and plastic?
Isn't there a risk that you could lose yourself in bad memories as well?
Of course. Remembering the times I've taken bullets is unpleasant. But I can look at my knee and see it's not shattered. The memories that are hard to escape are those of despair.
You can relive every assassination you've ever made?
In perfect detail. Every mistake I made. Every target's last breath.
That sounds difficult. At any moment, you could relive the guilt.
Guilt? No. I've never felt any particular guilt about my contracts. My employers killed them. My body was only the tool they used. If you kill a man with your gun, Do you hold the gun responsible?
Your body doesn't make the decision to shoot, your mind does. You make the choice to kill.
When someone aims a gun at you, you pull your trigger. You don't think. It's reflex. Any combat training conditions the body's reflexes. My training was very thorough. Drell minds are different from humans. We see our body as a vessel, and accept that it is not always under our control.
So you don't assume any responsibility for the things you do?
Not every action performed by my body is a result of conscious choices. I take responsibility for those that are. Humans often believe in a soul distinct from the body. A spirit responsible for moral reasoning that lives on after the body's death. Our belief is just a bit more literal.
The last time we talked, you remembered one of your assassinations. Something about sunset-colored eyes?
Ah, that time. Laser dot trembles on the skull. Spice on the spring wind. Sunset eyes, defiant in the scope. A bystander noticed my spotting laser and threw herself between me and the target. She couldn't see me, but she stared me down.
Did you take the shot?
Not that day.
It was odd that you just blurted that out. Just another vivid Drell memory?
No. She was a vivid person.
I should get back to my duties.
Shepard, I appreciate these chats we have.
You've spent a lot of your life alone, Thane.
Work fulfilled me. Reading. I barely spoke to anyone outside my family. It seems there will be no one to mourn me when I die. You're the only friend I've made in 10 years.
Friend, huh? It's a start.
A start? That's intriguing. I had been recording a message for Kolyat.
How are things going with him?
It is difficult. All things worth keeping are. I never explained. I suppose the story of my wife's death took you by surprise.
I figured you'd explain to me when you were ready.
I appreciate your patience. I kept my work clear of our home life. I assumed that would be enough to protect Erica. That memory I mentioned before. Laser dot trembles on the target's skull. The smell of spice on a spring wind. Sunset eyes defiant in the scope. That was Erica. That was how I met her. She saw my targeting laser as she walked by and threw herself in the way.
I guess she impressed you.
She woke me up. Her body trembles. Not fear. Indignation. Her mouth moves. How dare you? You and I trained to sacrifice ourselves to save others. How often does a civilian step in the way of a bullet to protect someone they've never met? I thought she was the goddess Hirashu. She met my eyes through the scope, and my purpose faltered.
So how'd she go from blocking your shot to having your children?
I had to meet her. The memory possessed and endowed me. I fell on my knees before her, begged her pardon. She introduced me to the world beyond my work. Eventually, she forgave me. Later, she loved me.
When you talked to Kolyat, you said she died.
I let myself become complacent. I thought Erica and Kolyat were safe. I stayed away too long, and my enemies came for her.
Who came for her?
Batarians. A slaver ring that was preying on Hanar outer colonies. I'd killed their leaders. They paid the shadow broker to find out who I was. But they were afraid of me, so they went after her.
You told Kolyat that you hunted her killers down.
Erica woke me up. When she passed, I returned to my battle sleep. My body hunted her killers, murdered them. I was taught to grant death quickly, cleanly, to minimize suffering. I let them linger.
I don't blame you. They killed innocents to get to you.
For you and me, death is business. For people like them, it is sport. I haven't spoken about my wife, and I don't think I ever have. I didn't have anyone left to tell it to.
Maybe I haven't been as upfront as I should be. I'm here for you, Thane. Whatever you need.
You are very kind. Thank you for listening, Siha.
I think my translator just glitched. What did you call me?
Siha. Someday I'll tell you what it means.
I've been thinking about you.
And I, you. Will you hear my confession, Siha?
Last time we talked like this, you said you'd explain what Siha means.
I need to explain myself to you first. When I married Irika, the Hanar let me leave their service to raise a family, but I had no other skills, so I freelanced. When Irika was killed, I pursued those responsible. Once I'd eliminated them, I had no goal. I accepted the Dantiest commission because I didn't know what else to do.
I guess you're lucky we came along when we did.
It was an intervention by the gods. I would have died in that penthouse. I would have fulfilled my contract. If Nasana's guards caught me afterwards, it would have been a good death. But someone else was pushing to reach the target, forcing me to move faster, challenging me. I had to reach her first.
You're alive because I wounded your pride?
Pride is the line between a professional and a thug. But I met another Siha. Few are privileged to meet even one.
You still haven't told me what a Siha is.
One of the warrior angels of the goddess Arashu. Fierce in wrath. A tenacious protector. I confess, I've come to care for you. Perhaps I'm being foolish. We are very different.
I'm not sure we know each other well enough to call it love. But I feel something for you too. Something more than friendship.
I've never felt affection for another species. I'm not sure what to do now.
We'll just have to figure it out.
I look forward to the memories.
Thane.
Siha, I have known I will die for many years. I've tried to leave the galaxy better than I found it. You've helped me achieve more than I thought possible. We've righted many wrongs. I've spoken to my son. I should be at peace on the eve of battle.
Stop. Don't give me a speech.
I'm ashamed. I've worked so hard, meditated and prayed and done good deeds, atoned for the evils I've done, prepared. I consider my body's death and a chill settles in my gut. I'm afraid, and it shames me.
Thane. Be alive with me tonight.
You needn't ask. Time for me is short, Siha. But any I have is yours to take.
How are you feeling?
No worse than ever. You needn't worry. And you are well?
No need to worry about me. How are you holding up?
I'm looking forward to the end of the mission. It has been many years since I felt I could relax anywhere.
I spent 2 years dead. Every moment seems irreplaceable now.
I spent 10 years dead. I understand the feeling. Strange that I should only reawaken now, when there is so little time left.
We owe ourselves a memorable vacation. We should pick a destination. There must be some travel brochures in the ship's computer.
I would very much like to see a desert